What's up, guys? It's Tony, aka T Slaps, and we're here with our week 3 team builder versus coach. It's whatever, Antonio and the Sacramento Lido Kings. Of course, go check out him and all the other BBL coaches down in the description below. All of them, of course, uploading fantastic content. And of course, check out the BBL playlist as well as our other leagues, the NCP and the UPBA playlist, all down in the description below. But anyways, we're gonna get right into this. Spoiler alert, we are 0-2 right now. Antonio is 2-0, so and for good reason. If you look at this team is scary. It is extremely scary to be prepping against. But I think we hopefully have the best team around this. I did something a little bit different this week for my prep as well. I did get a mock. I usually hate mocking, right? But mocking is something that was suggested to me, and I gave it a try, and we'll see how it works. I did get a mock for this, and I'm glad I did because I did not. I made some mistakes with my team, so shout out to Matt, aka Box, for that mock. He doesn't have any socials or anything like that, but just shout out to him. Big shout out to him. And then also I didn't think it was like as intensive of notes as I usually do. Intensive, I think that's the word. Intense. I didn't take as intense notes as I usually do for my opponent's team. Partially due to time constraint, but just something I'm gonna try. Maybe taking a little bit less notes, a little bit get out of my head. And we'll see how it works out. We'll see how this works out. Maybe I should have mocked and taken a little bit of notes on the team. I think I should have, but like I said, it was sort of a time constraint thing as well. But without enough blabbering about, of course, his team over on the right side: Palkia, Zero Aura, Ferrothorn, Swampert, Moltres, Galar, Conkeldurr, Comfey, Wobbuffet, NECROZMA, Dawnwings, and Snorlax. Those are his 10. Of course, our team's the same. I am looking at some transactions. Not too sure about it yet, but we are looking at it. But as of right now, Reshiram, Urshifu, Single Strike, Clefable, Blastoise, Gengar, Skarmory, Vikavolt, Piloswine, Luxie, and Decidueye. So Palkia is very scary. Dual stabs into like Lustrous Orb. I mean, it just runs through my team pretty difficultly. Oh my god, that's not even a word. I don't even know what I was trying to say there. It just runs through my team, and I have a difficult time dealing with it. I don't know if that's what I was trying to say there. I don't know what came out of my mouth there, but yeah, I have a very difficult time dealing with that. He might like run Thunderbolt for my Blastoise just because he can, and then like maybe Toxic or Roost or Sub. Any of those, I think, for his fourth move could be fine. But yeah, and with it being one of the few Ubers with base 100 speed versus like a 90, 95, 85, one of the slower Ubers, Palkia is just a phenomenal one. Base 100 really runs through my entire team outside of the Gengar, so it's a little unfortunate to see, but this is kind of what we're rocking right now. Zero Aura, I think Zero Aura can have a decent I think it'll be like kind of like the 6th/7th mod. I think it's hard for him to break my Skarmory if he doesn't bring it. But if he does, I think maybe just like Plasma Fist, Volt Switch, CC, like I don't know, knockoff. I think that could be fine. Maybe he slaps on Bulk Up. It could be fine. In the mock that I got, my opponent ran a sub Toxic set. So I could see him, I guess, doing that as well. Either one of those. Ferrothorn, and it's just gonna be a bulky set meant to like switch into, say, like my Clefable, any of my walls, to be honest, and whether it be, the Piloswine, the Luxie, the Skarm, the Blastoise, and also the Decidueye. I think it does pretty well there. And if it starts to with spikes, that could be a problem for my team. So I have to keep that in mind. Swampert. If he's gonna bring it, I think it'll be a Spadeful for like my Blastoise, and like give it a chance to roar out if I do like smash with it. And you can switch into my Gengar if I'm not bringing Energy Ball, and it can also like decently switch into my Reshiram. So there's that. Moltres Galar, I think, is kind of annoying for my team to build against, and especially the 6 that I did decide to bring. Moltres Galar does kind of do problematic things against it. So I'm really hoping not to see it. I think if he does bring it, there are a few different sets he could run. I think Rest Talk could be fine, and then just dual stabs. I think that's just really the most optimal set he would bring. I think just Rest Talk, Dual Stabs does really well against my team. So yeah, and then he has Conk Elder. I don't think he brings Conk, but if he does, I think just either AV or Guts with Thunder Punch, Drain Punch, Mach Punch, Knockoff, I think does fine against my team. Comfey, I think Comfey is going to be completely scared for my team to deal with. I think he will bring Helmet for my Urshifu, and then Draining Kiss, Calm Mind, Sword Power, and then last move, Aromatherapy probably. And my team just has a very, very difficult time dealing with that. So we'll have to see how that goes. Wobbuffet, just does Wobbuffet things. If I play it incorrectly, it could definitely end up claiming a kill. And so that's something I have to be careful for. NECROZMA Downwings, of course. It's NECROZMA Downwings. What's your switch into it? It doesn't really exist. Can't even run like Unaware Fable because Moonguy's Beam goes through it. So if you get the +1 with Meteor Beam, then Moonguy's is still going to be hitting up that +1. So that's a little unfortunate. And then Snorlax, I think, is a decent wall for my team. I think it can switch into Reshiram decently. It can definitely switch into the Gengar. And I think just the Rest Talk to attack set is perfectly fine against my team. So, with all that being said, this is the 6 that we decided to bring. We, of course, have first off, we're going to go with Redbone here, Reshiram, with the Eject Pack, a Draco, Flamethrower, Toxic Roost. Decided on this, I really wanted to bring Blue Flare over Flamethrower. I did have that originally, but I was afraid of running out of PP. So, I am opting with Flamethrower. Enough speed for, I believe, a creep involving Necro. Dawnwings. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that's the creep I'm thinking of. So, we got the Reshiram there. Just Draco, Flamethrower, Toxic Roost. He does have trouble switching into dual stabs, luckily. And then I will get into the Eject Pack here in a moment, why I'm running that. Next, we got Family Ties here. Actually, this needs to be changed to Spell Tag. With a long reach, so luckily I don't get hit by the Ferrothorns, Iron Barbs, and like Rocky Helmet if he has Rocky Helmet on that. Poltergeist, Shadow Sneak, Roost, and Defog. In case that Ferrothorn just decides to start Spike stacking on me, or if he gets like rocks up with like Swampert, I will have my Defog right here, of course. Poltergeist, Shadow Sneak, Roost, and Defog sucks because I can't touch Snorlax with this set, but I think this is like the most optimal set I can bring. Obviously, Shadow Sneak is going to be doing a ton to NECROZMA Downlink, especially if we like get rid of a Cassibberry, or if he's not Cassibberry. That could be really, really nice. I'm also missing EVs I'm seeing on the Decidueye, so let me just run that. You see, this is why we look. This is why we're running through this real quick. I was missing some EVs there. But yeah, this is really well. It also 2 KOs a max Fizzidef Comfey, which is really, really nice. His team doesn't really switch into this extremely well outside of Snorlax and Moltres Galar. Which, don't get me wrong, that's definitely unfortunate, but for one, Decidueye isn't hitting Moltres Galar like in any universe. And of course, I could do something about the Snorlax, like run, I don't know, Leaf Blade or something, just some coverage to be able to hit it. But I think this is just fine the way it is. I have other ways of beating the Snorlax and punishing it, so I think we're fine there. Next, we got Gengar here. Gengar is very, very... It's really, really hard to pin a set on it. I think at the bare minimum, I need these 3 coverage moves. I would love to run Sub-Disable, because obviously his Snorlax is my switch into it. And if he's not running double coverage for it, then Gengar cannot switch into it. So, the Snorlax no longer beats the Gengar because I would disable his 1 coverage move to hit me, and then we'd just be solid, right? And I think that's something he might expect though, and so I think he might run like double coverage. Like I think, like maybe EQ plus Fire Punch could be fine, or like Crunch plus EQ or something like that. I think just running 2 coverage moves, I think is something he's gonna try to do just so that he doesn't have to worry about it. So I think this is fine. I'm bringing sub. I'm hoping I can sub on something. It kind of sucks because I'm not running Sludge Bomb, so if that Calm Mind does start getting set up, that could be very, very scary. But I think sub's gonna end up helping me a lot when it comes to just taking a hit from, like, say maybe the Necro Dawnwings, if he's like a Scarf variant. If he's like a Scarf Palkia or just Zero or outspeeding, if I can sub up on the correct mon, then I could be in a phenomenal position. So, and these three coverage moves hit his team extremely well. Like I said, just really if that Comfey strikes any Calm Mind it up, it could be unfortunate. But I think this should be fine. Next we got Urshifu. I'm hoping we can bluff this Adamant Scarf with this. We're running just Jolly Black Glasses, Close Combat. We can blow U-Turn, Sucker Punch. I really want to limit how much I U-Turn in case he has Rocky Helmet on that Comfey. But yeah, Close Combat, we can blow U-Turn, Sucker Punch. It kind of does Urshifu things, you know. Next we got Fable here, Moonblast, Flamethrower, Calm Mind, and Soft Boil is just a bit def wall. His Fizz Def to Mons to break me would be like Zera Aura and Conk, but I don't know if Conk is going to be able to run the coverage to hit my Clefable. I don't even know if Conk's going to come, to be honest. I think he has a lot better 6. But yeah, he doesn't really break my Clefable too well. Originally, I made a mistake of running rocks on this over Flamethrower because I have rocks on my Luxie, and I didn't notice that. So I'm really glad I mocked and noticed that. But I think Spadef with Calm Mind, I think could end up really causing Ant trouble and trying to break it, especially if I can like get rid of the Aqua Berry if he is carrying it on the Ferrothorn early. I think that's important. And lastly, we got Luxie here. Is mainly trying to be physically defensive. Unfortunately, I'm running a lot of speed to make sure I outspeed like the Dawnwing's NECROZMA. But Psychic Shadow Ball, Rocks, and U-Turn. With Rocky Helmet in case he ends up U-Turn pivoting on me and stuff like that. With say the Galarian Moltres, if I can catch it on that. Also, like maybe I can chip the Conk off, and especially if it's taking like Flame Orb damage, he'll be taking up a lot of chip through all that. But the reason I'm bringing this Uxie set is I do have a lead sequence in mind, which would be lead Uxie, and I U-turn on everything across this team, and then after that point, after I U-turn, I can hopefully pivot into Reshiram. Reshiram, I think, should be fine against most things on his team. Worst case would be, you see, I think the worst case would be that he goes into Swampert. Swampert's the most likely thing that would come in on Uxie that also beats Reshiram. Because if he goes into Moltres Galar, I will still go into Reshiram. If he goes into like Comfey, I guess I'll still go into Reshiram. Uxie. Or, I mean, not Uxie, but if he goes in like the Snorlax, I'll go Urshifu. I'll go Urshifu there. I think that's fine. If he goes like Ferrothorn, I'll go Reshiram. I think in most cases, if he leads off with, if I lead off with Uxie, I'm fine. Worst case, he leads off Hard Moltres Galar, or he leads off with the the NECROZMA Dawnwings. If he leads off with Moltres Galar, I guess I'll just go Hard Clefable and just take one. Let him U-turn, and it's gonna suck. But if you lead NECROZMA Dawnwings, I'm just gonna stay in. I'm just gonna Shadow Ball into it, just get the damage off I need. I think the worst case would be that. But even if I don't get off the sequence that I want, I think I can get the U-turn with the Uxie into the Reshiram later in the game at any point. I think that's a very easy sequence to get off. And then from there, I obviously also have an eject pack. I either Flamethrower into Draco Meteor, or I can just Draco Meteor straight up, and then I'll get eject packed out. And then from there, I could probably either pivot into like my Gengar or my Urshifu from there, and just really just keep applying the pressure. So that's kind of like my main thought process. This is my first time really where I've like kind of had a main sequence in mind of what I wanted to do. I'm really hoping it works out. We'll see. That's our game plan, of course. Like I said, this is a very, very tough team and drafted incredibly, and of course, Ant is a good player on his own. So go check out him, go check out all the other BBL coaches, all of them down in the description below. And then, of course, tomorrow will be up week 3. If you guys have not seen week 1 or week 2, the BBL playlist is down in the description, or should be popping up on the screen any minute now. If you guys did enjoy, hit that like button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.